Good morning. Looks like we have almost everyone online. If someone can give me a little chat hi for anyone that knows how to do it, just let me know that you can hear me okay. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Joe. Okay, I don't have a lot of slides. Yay for you today. Looking at farming and what I call cultivating the cloud. I originally had mining the MLS, but we do have other outlets to farm. The most recent upgrade being RPR. So the first thing that we are going to speak about today, and this can go for new agents, this can go for seasoned agents. It really is irrelevant, what stage of your career that you're in. But the first thing we want to do when we talk about farming, and yes, I am going to get into how to create labels and how to get some databases together. But the first thing you're going to want to do is determine where that farm area is. And yes, your neighborhood is always great, but there could also be 50 realtors in a very small area. So what I'd like to do, and we are going to end up staying here for most of the session, is I am going to share my desktop, and we're just going to pretty much stay on Live Drive, which is just live on the Internet, the entire session. So the first place I want to take, let's go here, and yes, you're going to see everything, is RPR. And we did have a class on this. Again, our sessions are short and sweet. So basically today is I'm going to show you what is out there, and just be mindful that we are doing full classes on all of this stuff live at the Fairfield Training Center. So the first one we're looking at is RPR. And again, when I was managing, I would sit with agents and we would discuss their farm area or their business plan, and obviously this is all tied in together. And one of the things I used to do is specifically look at what is selling, what town they're selling in, how long things are staying on the market, and that pretty much should dictate if you're in an area, and we have some towns in Sussex County that I'm looking at specifically, and I'm thinking, well, why would I invest my time and money in that area if nothing is selling in that area? And it's not specifically a price point, because mid-price points work just as well as any other. It's not really so much a price point that you have to search, although if that's your thing, by all means go for it. But it really is what is moving and what isn't. So where we're going today, and I'm not doing a full RPR, but we're looking specifically at and I can't see, just to go over this one more time, when I'm live drive, I don't see the chat. So if we're having any technical difficulties, if I disappear, send me a text. My phone is in front of me. That is what I'm speaking to you on, but I will see a text message come through because I cannot see the dashboard right now as far as the webinar goes. So we're looking at, and this is what your dashboard will look like when you log into RPR. I'm clicking on the market activity. And there is a drop-down menu here. This is obviously the last one that I had looked at, was changes in the last 3 months. And what you want to do is you want to put a town. And just for today, I try to mix it up in the state of New Jersey. I am going to look at Wayne. And I'm going to take, try that again, my top zip code, and I'm going to choose search. And what you will find in here, of course, it maps out the actual town. And it will give you what the properties that it has in here. These are all for sale properties up on top. But where you want to focus your attention is this sidebar, is the right-hand sidebar, where it gives you information about this neighborhood. And you'll see here median estimated home values, and that is for that zip code, which is the zip code that I chose. You did have an option of 2. The county as a full, and then the state. So you can look side by side to Dave Douglas has no audio, but everybody else is fine, so I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to hop back here. Can someone else pop and let me know text-wise, 973-951-1072. I've got Byron with no audio, and just let me know what you're looking at. If you can hear me, hopefully somebody can hear me. I'm just going to stop for a quick second, and then that's going to be it. Not seeing anyone else popping in. Let me just go back. Milford is fine. All right, so sorry, Dave. I'll speak slowly so that you guys can maybe log in. I see Mary's logged in twice. Maybe you just need to refresh, but everybody else is telling me I'm okay. So sharing, and hopefully they're hearing me on a phone or someone in the office is hearing. Okay, thanks, Jess. All right, I'm just going to keep chugging along here. So we're going back, and again, we're looking at this the right-hand sidebar, comparing town to town. That is one place that you want to start. The next place that we're looking at, and I'm going to go into GS, that is we do have all of them, and you'll see I have Flex up here as well. We do have access to all of the MLSs, but GSMLS is the one that we have the most active agents in, so I tend to stick with that. It's also easier for me since I'm on it every day. But where we're looking here is the Analysis tab, and I will go over these in detail in our, thanks, Doug, Dave. I will go over this in more detail in our Garden State class, and I am looking at June for a full Garden State MLS class. And what I'm looking at is area statistics. We'll get into some of this when we're looking at how to become an expert in your area later on. But for right now, we're determining where we want to focus our business. And again, that is going to be dictated by what's moving, what isn't, and how long things are taking, and for some of you by price point. All up to you. So choosing by town, this is my default is 6 months back, and I'm going to leave it here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick on our Pompton Plains office today. So I'm not 100% familiar with where everything butts up, but I'm pretty okay with going into Pequannock and Butler, and we're going to compare. Let's just say you're in that office. We're going to look at Kinnelon. I'm just going to pick a couple, and I know that we go a little here, so I'm going to go into Pompton Lakes. I'm going to go into Wayne, and that's going to be it. I'm just going to pick these for now. So what we're looking at is 6 months back. March is the most updated that we have. They don't have the April stats yet, so right now it'll say, and actually says right there, there's no data for the current month. So March is going to be the most accurate we will have. I stick to residential. If you want to add multifamily land, commercial business, that's up to you. I'm a residential gal. So I'm going to simply click on search. And what that will do is it will open up town-by-town comparisons for me. So you have the average list price, median list price. I pretty much stick, again, to the right-hand side here where you're looking at average sale prices and number of sold listings. So as you can scoot down here, you will go into Kinnelon. Kinnelon pretty much is, you've got 48 closed, number of sold, and 521,000. And of course, this is by bedroom. And I do, so if you stick on this midline, I like to stick with the 3 bedrooms. You can go in the midline here. And this is by bedroom count, so 0, 1. I don't know what the 0 would be. Maybe in Sussex County you've got some hunting land or hunting cabins that doesn't actually have a bedroom. But for the most part, if you're in a standard county, you're looking at across at the 3, and you've got your average sale price all the way through. So now you're looking at town by town. So again, if you're in an office where you're surrounded by these towns and you're deciding where you want to focus your business, this would be a decent place to look and see what is going on in that market. And yes, again, when you're making yourself an expert in that market, you have this to go with as well, but we have more as far as that goes there. So again, determining a farm area, you do have some resources that you can go to and look at comparisons as far as towns and pricing and number of solds, and those would be the 2 places that I would start. Now we're looking at becoming an area expert and getting additional stats. And then from there, we're going to look at how to download labels, and I will be doing both GSMLS and FlexMLS as far as downloading the labels and tax searches in both of those. And there are some tips and tricks in GSMLS that I don't know if everybody is aware of that does make doing it in a group and not having to go back and forth, for street to street. So the first thing I want to look at is the stats for marketing. And again, I'm on the GSMLS, and we are looking at the area statistics. And here I want to look a little bit at the date comparison. So now you've narrowed your marketing. We're picking one town because this is what you're going to use as far as stats. And we're going to get into creating a quick newsletter and making yourself the go-to person in either that subdivision, that lake community, the whole town, depending on the size of the town. If there is a condo or townhome development, you can just really narrow it down any which way that you choose. So I am going to simply go right in here, and let's go to Woodland Park, and I am in my 6 months back here. What I am going to do actually is do month to date, and I don't know if anybody's ever seen this. I'm going to do month to date, and I'm going to back this up to last year and click on search. And what that does, it gives me year over year information. So this is the information as of March of 2014, and this is the information as of March of 2015. So here's your answer to how's the market. You now have really quickly how's the market from last year. Well, there are your numbers. They don't lie. All the information is right there for you. And you can do that per town. You can do multiple towns if you wanted to go in. Again, depending on how the towns overlap. You can do 6 months back, but I like the month to date or even the year to date here. Let's see what this looks like. If we go year to date, this gets a little bit more in detail. So there's your how's the market. Something quick over, on the top of your head. If you're doing an open house, not a bad thing to look at or even print out if you're doing an open house, because you'll get potential sellers coming in. How's the market? Well, you have some information on how's the market. You're the area expert. That is as far as GSMLS is concerned. I go into Flex a little bit here. They have this little text button, and it takes you out of Flex but into a really cool little area where you can do prospecting. And I just wanted to, just in case anyone was not aware of, select a geographic area. We're going to go into this in about 2 minutes as far as labels. They will allow for a full Excel download, as will GSMLS, or you can just print directly on labels, as will GSMLS. I typically stick to the Excel spreadsheets just because you can save them and use them over and over again. And if you're having Jackie do any print marketing for you for these particular areas, that will come in handy because you can just send it right over to her, and both you and she are using the same areas and addresses for your target marketing. So sticking back into GSMLS, using the information in both of the MLSs, I know that NJ has some great tools as well. I can't log into everything today. I know that NJ has some great tools as well. But where I want to take this information, and I don't know if you all are aware of this, and Jackie can help you out. She does have some templated postcards if you want to do a mailer. As far as market snapshots, but you also have the opportunity, and I am going to click straight into, let's just do my jumpy doodad thing here, this. Now I'm looking at Executive Edge, and we're going to look a little bit into how to use our tools, Executive Edge specifically, and our Prime Agent websites to become an area expert. You've got two options here. The first thing, and we all, again, when I'm teaching Executive Edge, and I do have a live class, you'll get an invitation later, next Wednesday in the Fairfield office, I will be going through Executive Edge in detail. It is a very long class. I do block out 2 hours for it, but it is next Wednesday. But the two areas here that I want to look at for this particular session is the newsletters, and these are print, not email. The e-newsletter is something I would do more general because the niche marketing is great. The area expert is terrific, but for most of us, we don't want to limit ourselves. So I do recommend having something, a website that's more general, and we'll get into that in a few minutes, but incorporating some of the niche stuff in there. So you have some templates in here as far as newsletters. If you know something's going on, if you live in the development that you're looking to become the area expert on, and you're at the homeowners meetings, and you want to do a blog and not internet-wise, but if you want to do an article on what happened, these are some templates in here. They're pre-done for you. I'm just going to do again, this is not a full Executive Edge. I'm just looking to show you where you can go for resources to just boost up your reputation in a specific area. Obviously, I don't want to do air purifiers work, but you've got some blanks in here, and you've got some. This is 2 articles with images. So if you have some shots of the area from listings that you have taken, or again, if you're just getting started, get out there and take your own photos of areas of interest. I know it sounds goofy, but I take the municipal building because when I am building either a newsletter and I'm going door to door or popping it in the mail, however you want to present it, and that please look at the soliciting rules, or if I'm doing a website and I want to incorporate the images on there, it's always best to have your own, and it's always best to be as local as possible. Generic images, everybody knows. People stay on the site. It's, again, very goofy, but people will actually stay. If they say, hey, I know where that is, they think it's cool to see local pictures and not something generic. So here, simple, you've got your load article here, and this is not the edit version, but you have 2 spaces for your article. You've got your branding here, and I would imagine you can get a little bit more in-depth. So if you wanted to add an image over this, something local, you could do that. And then, of course, your contact information. This is just what that newsletter would look like. So you can get your information here. You can interview maybe the president of the HOA or a local business. If it's Lake Mohawk and you want to go into one of the local businesses and get some information here. If you want to advertise, we spoke about this a little bit 2 sessions ago when we were using Facebook to market or advertise a local business to get them to refer you. You have an opportunity here to do that as well, and it's real quick and easy. So that is one of the ways to use our branding or our products, and I just want to go back there again, and I hate to do this to you guys because I know it's bouncing, and I am going to give it a second to catch up. But the other information in here, and I'm just going to go really quickly to my e-greetings, and we have, I'm just going to open up the guides and information. We have guides, we've got listing presentations, but in here as well, and again, if this is something that you're looking for as far as doing the Wayne Days, the Sussex County Day, to have a piece. And we used to do this all the time. I'm not out there anymore, so I don't see what everybody's bringing with them. But to have a piece that is a market snapshot of that town, you can put them, you can do them in here if you like, or you can just supply Jackie with the stats. And it depends on what the stats are that you're looking to do. I usually do actives on the, currently on the market, actives recently sold, median sale price. You can get all of that information straight up on that MLS. And I was looking for, and I believe it was in the postcards, but I'm old and blind at this point, and I'm going to just type in here real quickly, market snapshot, because that's what they call it, and hope that they didn't move it, but it was here yesterday. And for anyone that didn't know that, if you know the name of the piece so that you know that there's something in here, market is probably going to bring me a lot of information, but I'm going to close these so that you're not blinded by how many are in here. And we've got lots and lots of stuff with market. Oh, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure they call it snapshot as well. So let's narrow that down a little bit. And we've got market activity reports. Again, they've all got the shield. They're branded. They've got blank space in the center. I'm going to do a real quick on here. They've got a blank space. You've got listing cards, and they gave me the same exact amount. So I'm not going to kill myself in here, and I'm sorry about that because I'm pretty sure it was under what I thought it was, and I'm not getting it in here. Oh, here we go, market update postcard. That's what I'm looking for. So you've got, you'll see here, you've got full sheets if you wanted to do a full flyer. I'll show you what that looks like in a preview. You can do recent sales. A lot of people love that information, especially if you're doing an open house, what recently sold. And it's just a matter of clicking in and putting the information. The lines are there for you. The same thing here. And then you've also got some with blank spaces in the middle that you can put, again, currently active on the markets and sold. So we're going to move forward from here. And I want to show you, and yes, I haven't forgotten about the labels. We're going to get in there as well, and the CRS prospecting. The other thing, and I know that when I say this, people look at me like I'm crazy, so I am actually going to show you how easy it is. Creating a custom page on any website, I'm going to show you on Prime Agent, but on any website is not difficult. If you could type in a Word document, if you could type a simple letter, you can do a custom page on a website. And this is, again, what I end up having is I have a Donna Spinetta website, donnaspinetta.com. You can go look at it. It's very plain, very simple. It's got everything activated on it that needs to be activated except for featured listings because I don't have any listings. But what I always recommend is if you are going to focus on a specific area, again, lake, townhome, it doesn't matter. I'm going to pick on Crystal Springs in a minute, and I'm going to pick on Indian Fields just because I just want to show you how you can do some searching for those labels and for that Excel spreadsheet. But coming up with, and for a couple of bucks a year, you can buy a domain. I know it makes everybody's head hurt when I say that it's not complicated stuff. We've got videos. You've got me. I have actually put in, I believe it's May 6th, this is Wednesday, I will be doing a full Prime Agent website class. Again, it's another 2-hour class. We start off novice. We go a little bit more in depth. You can leave when your head starts to hurt, but this stuff is not complicated. I did make this recommendation for anyone that was in my class when we just went over really quickly. If you are going to be doing custom pieces in your website, put it on a Word document and save it there so it's always there. If anything happens to your website, it's a matter of copying and pasting. So from here, we are going to get very scary. No, it's really not. We're going to click on My Agent website. And I am going to go to my web pages. And why we're doing this is because we want to, when we're out there with the newsletters, when we're out there with the postcards, when we're touting ourselves as that area expert, you should have a domain name. So, and again, crystalsprings.com is probably not out there, but Crystal Springs Expert, Crystal Springs Homes, same thing with Indian Fields or your neighborhood or however it is, just make sure that it's legal and you're not looking like you're actually, part of whatever it is that's out there because you don't want to get slapped for fraud. So make it a combination of the two so it identifies you. And it like homes. Everything I do is Sussex County Homes. They know that that's not representative of the actual county and that I am in the real estate industry. So let's just go to web pages. And again, mine are never pretty. And I'm going to add a web page. And like I told everyone, I tell the truth. I have my website information in its own little folder. Yes, this is my actual computer, and these are my files. So I'm going to go into website and pages. Again, I don't lie when I say it's here, it really is. Here's my Sussex County pages. I am going to create, again, very simple. Another thing that seems to hurt people's heads is when I use the word hyperlink. Hyperlinking is not a technical term. Hyperlinking is as simple as highlighting the words that you want to go somewhere else and right-clicking here and hitting the word hyperlink. Now, this one would be edit because I already have them in here, and I do it in my Word document. Now all I need to do, and I will teach this in the class, again, not as complicated as it looks, I'm going to click on copy. I am going to simply go back to my add pages. I'm going to go into my page, and I am going to paste it. And you can now highlight it. You can center. You can make any kind of modifications that you want. Title here is simply Wantage Township. I always have to remember to go in and clean up my stuff. This will auto-populate in. Again, this is not a website class, just to show you how quickly this can be done. I'm going to click on Publish. I'm not going to mess with my SEO right now, but simple, there it is, and we're going to go in and actually check out what that looks like on my page. That took me minutes. And if I wanted to, I would then go and buy a domain. This is my stuff here that would fall under my local area. So there it is, right there. It's going to click on Wantage Township. This is the information here. I would probably include some of my local, and I do have local for Wantage. That was an area that I worked in. And at this point, my hyperlinks are actually going to take you to wherever it is that I want to go. Again, when I get into the training class on the website itself, I talk about how to get the landing pages, not right here because I didn't set that up, but you'll see really quickly I've got a little bit of information about the town, plenty of places to go. Do not copy it verbatim from someplace else. Get bits and pieces. Go to the Historical Society, go to the town website. Wikipedia is okay. Just make sure that you verify that the information is correct because that's not a guarantee. And put it into your own words. If you're that area expert, you should have an opinion or you should have something that you love about that area that you can include in there. And then these link outs are awesome because your page stays relevant. It stays updated because you're not responsible to update any of that information. If you get too crazy in here, you may have to. But if you're linking out to the municipal sites, if you're linking out to the school sites, they are updating those for you. So that's where hyperlinking comes in really, really to be helpful. And right now, without even trying, I'm building up my website SEO. I know SEO hurts everybody's head. I'm building my website ranking within relevance to Wantage Township because now I have that information on my site. So again, when you're out there, and I would go in, Wantage Homes for sale, whatever it is that you want to create, you can get that for a couple of bucks, a .info, a .net, not a lot of money, and point it. Again, we're not going to get bananas here, but at this point, if I went into edit, you can actually point it to this link. And it would take the consumer, when you're out there, when you're giving them that newsletter, it will take the consumer right to that page. What I find very helpful also is a list of recent home sales. But again, I'll get more into that when we get into our class. So that's as simple as that was. Again, if you're working on Word, it's not as intimidating, I think, for people. If they're doing it in here, it seems to be more intimidating for agents. If you're working on a Word document, play with it, and it's as simple as a copy and paste once you're finished. And I think that for whatever reason, Word seems to be less intimidating for people than going right into the website. They're always afraid they're going to break something. I promise you will not break anything in here. So as far as we've got stats for marketing, and again, going back into the MLS, you've got your analysis tab here. For anyone that has not seen it, and I know Flex has it as well, and I'll play around with that in just a quick second. But in GSMLS, in the Analysis tab, they have now, under the Draw Municipal Stats, incorporated the 10K. And I'm going to show you a couple of reports in here that I found, and I am now mailing that out as part of my pre-listing packet. Or if I'm mailing to expireds or for sale by owners, we're including them in. But this is, if you click on the select year, obviously, I'm going to go here. If I select the month, we're only going to get March. If you select the county, you're going to simply get the town names. These are nothing more than the 10K reports per town. If you're not using them, you should. Really cool that GSMLS has included them in the system. You're no longer having to go out and go to njrealtor.com and logging in as you. It can be accessed right through your MLS because in GSMLS, and again, it depends on the MLS and Flex as well, it's directly associated to a realtor. You have to be a realtor to participate. So at that point, this will apply. So you do have your 10K here per town, but what I found unbelievable was if you simply click on all towns here and click on OK, it's going to take just a minute, you get this really cool 15-page, I don't use all 15 pages, I use like the first 5 and then the last one, but this, and again, if you're touting local, local, local. You can do it by county. This does county, but it gives you graphs and charts. And again, something great to hand out if you're doing a county event, Hello Sussex County Day. You can actually just bring this to the table with you, and that is full county stats. So it depends on what your focus is on, but you've got both the town, and again, I'm just going to scoot through really quickly on some of these. You've got inventory. So what it does here is this page I love. I usually just go through the overview pages. Again, that's like these here. I take the first couple and then the very last one. If you want to get crazy with it, you can absolutely go through, and that is all county information, so you can switch to any county here that you want to, or if you're doing a town day, you've got your day information here. FlexMLS, I never remember where I'm going for it. They've got RPR built in, which I love, and they also have, let me just go into taxes and products and statistics. Here we go. So you've got market trends and inventory and products here, and this is live Flex dashboard right now. This is the login to Flex. I am going to go to, and again, when I clicked on taxes earlier, the CRS tax search opened up a new window for me. I'm going to start my labels in Flex, and then we're going to go to GSMLS and get our labels there. I've got a lot to pack in, and I'm trying to do it as quickly as I can. But in prospecting here, I am going to select a you have 3 steps, and I go through the steps here. I am going to go into municipalities. I am going to click on Milford and add it in and proceed to number 2. I'm not going to get crazy with this. You can, obviously, when you know what all of these I don't spend a lot of time in Flex, so anyone that's in Flex that can get a little more detailed, but I will specify that I want to limit to property type to residential. So I'm not going to move any of these in, but you have a lot of detail options that you can list in sales price. Sale date. I don't know if anyone has been solicited by some of these. We've got the, they narrow down, they use the word algorithm a lot. It's what Facebook uses when you're searching for something, and the next thing you know, you've got an ad for that product on your Facebook timeline, and you're wondering how they know. I believe Redfin is doing it. There's one other company whose name escapes me right now that will tell you that they are able to narrow down by using census data, by using shopping data on screen IP information, what group of people are going to or would more likely or most likely move. We can, for free, kind of get an idea by sale date. So if you wanted to go in and let's just say you don't want people that purchased their home 6 months ago, because in all likelihood, if they are moving, it's not a good reason, and I don't want to be involved. But if I want to go back and say typically people stay in a home 5 to 7 years, 5 to 10 years, you can do date of, and that's in all MLSs. You can choose your sale dates. Again, if you want to get into a certain price point, I'm not really into selling $60,000 homes, so I would get into my price points. Some of them will let you get granular as far as bedrooms, things like that. So you have that option here. We're going to go just with the limit property to residential, and we are going to click on to step number 3. And here is where you would clean it up. You would know better than I if we go through, if it's owned by the town, open space, NJDEP, if it's, someplace that had owned by one of the local electric companies for right-of-ways. I would eliminate realtors. I eliminate them out. Just for the heck of it for today, I'm actually going to click on just these few, and I'm going to move on to step 3. Just a real quick way to show you how it goes. So at this point, they get really crazy here. I love this. I can tell you GSMLS does not have it. You can actually pick the type of labels that you have and download straight onto those labels if you were going to be doing the mailer physically yourself. But if you scoot up here just a little bit, you'll see here this default is addresses Excel. And then it will include additional, you've got your choices here, owner and property address. This is something you need to think about when you're picking your farming area. Are you going to be targeting, some people only target, and I actually do, targeting people that have a home, especially and when you get a little bit more north and in Pennsylvania, you've got some second home people. So if their tax records are going to their primary residence, that is where, so owner's address here would pick that primary residence. If you only wanted the property address and you were going to be doing an or resident, you got to hope that it's not a P.O. box. But owner's address here, I'm going to leave as the default and then move forward and click on Export Files. This is just going to take a real quick second. I'm going to choose Save the File because it does open in an unusual format, and the Open With is going to ask me twice. It took a minute. I'm going to the File. I am going to Open With, and I am going to choose Excel. And you will see here, and I knew that was going to happen, you will see here you've got your name, your information, you've got your address, and this is the owner address. So you'll see here there's a lot of people in that area that we've got Connecticut and Vermont addresses. So that's something that yay, hometown of Staten Island. We've got a lot of New York addresses in here. So again, something to think about while you're doing the farming aspect, and again, that's going to happen as well as some of the lake communities in Sussex as well. Going to GSMLS, and I did say that I was going to show you a couple of tips and tricks in here. We are going to click on I'm going to do the quick search. When I do the GSMLS class, I will get more granular with some of the things that you can advanced search, and that's where you would go as far as sale date. In here is where I said that I was going to pick on Indian fields in this particular case. So I am in Quick Search Tax. I am choosing my county. I am going to choose my town, which is Hardiston. In the street name, for some that didn't know, you can actually do multiple street names. So if you're narrowing by a specific, you're not doing a radius mail, you don't have to get crazy with lot and blocks. You can actually do, and these are street names in Indian fields, commas. So if I do Pale Star, and I had all of these earlier, and I am going to do Bitterroot. That's also a street name. And I am going to do Meadow Pond. So I am taking and I am separating my, Bitterroot would be nice if I had a T. I am separating by comma. So we've got Pale Star, we've got Bitterroot, we've got Meadow Pond, we've got our county, we've got our township, and we are going to click on Search. And I've got 115 records, and again, you'll see here this is exactly what I was looking for. And the same thing, if I'm going to put my checkbox on, and I'm going to narrow here by unchecking. It's easy. I find it easier to check all and take the checkboxes off the people you do not want to include rather than doing it the other way around, because you're going to want more than less in here to begin with. But I don't want an unknown. I don't even know what that is, Development Corp. I don't want Hardiston Township. I'm not going to go through all of them. And you're going to simply click on Narrow. And here is if you wanted to direct print labels. Again, that's not something that, in here, if you want to download them, you want to print labels, you're going to click here. You have the same opportunity, owner's address, property address. I switch down to the Microsoft Excel, print with owner's name. I'm choosing yes, but I'm going here as far as the Excel, and I am going to simply click on, and again, the same exact thing. I'm going to save file. It's going to pop in here. I'm going, at everybody's computer at this point in time operates different. You have to know where your downloads are going, and we know that this is from, so I'm going to open with, and I'm going to open with Excel, and same exact conversation that we had earlier. And here are all my addresses. So now at this point, I can use this to do my labels if I'm doing them myself, or I can send this spreadsheet over to Jackie for whatever it is, postcards that she's going to do. But you have this. Again, I would save this, and you can use it multiple times so that your target is your target. You're always going to the same people on a regular basis. So I am, believe it or not, I'm going to go back to my dashboard here. At least I thought I was. Come on. Where is my, there we go. Okay. So hopefully everyone can see here. What is Mary May FlexMLS is for our Pennsylvania office. It is one. There is one in trend in parts of New Jersey as well. I did have a question as to what was Flex. We do have our PA, our Milford office on the line, and I do try to, whenever I can, jump into the MLSs that are relevant to them. So that's the answer to Flex. Flex, I was working in our Pennsylvania MLS at that point. So I am going to just really quickly here open it up. We went through again. We're looking at developing a farm area, what information you have available to you to determine where you want to target. Then we've got the stats to become the area expert for conversations that are, whether you're on doing a day, whether you're doing a field event, however it is, you'll have updates. You can include them into a custom newsletter, and then again, that was from Executive Edge for printing. You got your marketing snapshots. You can, again, do that in Executive Edge and email, or you can present that information and hand that information over. Jackie does not do stats. She does not go into, she's not an agent. She doesn't go into MLS. You will have to provide her the stats that you want on there, but she does have templates for different types of pieces, and I'm sure she'll be more than happy to send you some samples if you're looking to get those done. And then designing a custom area web page on your Prime Agent site, which you can direct to a specific domain name. So that is what I have. I'm just going through today. There is a great resource. Actually, I'm going to hop back, and I do apologize. I'm going to hop back out for 1 second because there is, for anyone that does not use Realtor.org as a resource, it is the NAR website. You really, really should. But I went in and I have from NAR, and I'm just going to type this in here, they have field guides, and they actually have a farming field guide. So I have the link saved on a Word document, so if you'd like me to send it. The way that we're having these, usually I would just include that link in the thank you, but because we have people at the offices, not everyone will receive it. If you're interested in, and I'm going to show you what it looks like, if you're interested in the field guide, just pop me an email, and I will just email you the link so that you can get right on there. It is not password protected in this particular portion. Hopefully I'm still on with everyone there. There we go. And so it's Field Guide to Farming and Prospecting for Realtors. And if you click on here, I'm going to put my phone back on in case I disappeared. You'll see here they've got lots and lots of resources and additional hyperlinks. If you're new to the business or something that you've never really thought about before, I do know there are agents that have been in the business for years and years and years, and they seem to be all over the place. They have not created that farm area. They've not really gone into a niche market. Yes, Mary, I will. I already have a request for it. So I will send you that link, and it's just something to read through, some ideas. Everybody has a different take on it. Everybody has a different way of doing business. So to get bits of information from different people, something may strike that'll work for you. Other things you're like, no, that's not for me. I don't cold call, don't like it, but I'll knock on anyone's door and have a face-to-face conversation with you any day. But I don't like picking up the phone call. It's not something I'm comfortable with. So again, everybody has their own thing. I am going to hopefully drag my lovely green arrow and just one more time go over. Oh, this thing hates me. It really does. Come on. For anyone that doesn't know how to, this does not like me. Does anybody? I'm trying to grab to show where to ask questions. If anyone does not know where that is, wow, here we go. Let me try that, and that's still not working. This little green arrow just drives me bonkers. There we go. So there is a little box here to type in a message for anyone that's not aware. If you'd like to ask a question, I'd be more than happy to answer it now. But there's a little, and you just type in whatever you want to ask and click the send button. If you raise your hand, I'm not really inclined to start hopping people out of the mute. But if you'd like to pop in your question here, I'll be more than happy to answer. And I have mostly hellos, I'm here's, and then the what is Flex and the please send the field guide. If I'm going to give it another second for people to type in if you'd like. Otherwise, I am on time. We kind of wanted to go into, thank you, Terry, and you're welcome. See if we've got anything else. All right. Well, if you have any questions and you're just furiously typing and, like I do, misspell when you're trying to get something in there really quickly, I'm getting a lot of send the field guides. Okay, will do. For anyone that I've got logged on to the, personally logged on, I'll pop it over. But again, if you're in an office and didn't log in directly and you would like it, by all means, just send me an email and I'll reply with that link. I am going to say have a great day. The sun is out, and I know we've got, in Sussex County, a lot of broker opens, and hopefully you'll all get out there. So have a great day.